Hello, and thank you for your interest in the PII Vault plugin for Domo. The PII Vault is your solution for operationalizing identified data. What does that mean? It means you can use the PII Vault and the Domo plugin to anonymize and de-identify your data before it's uploaded into Domo. With the PII Vault and Domo, your data is safer and more powerful than it's ever been before. First, because most people have questions about how we do this, I'll walk you through what it is we do and at a really high level, how it works. The first step is to separate your PII from the data it identifies. This is followed by what we call polyanonymization. With polyanonymization, the PII Vault plugin will replace all the identifying details in your data with our multi-value non-identifying polyanonymous, or as we call it, PII. These fully anonymous IDs can be used to link data for the same individual in Domo. The difference is they're safe to use because the ID values are never stored with the personal details they represent. We even allow disparate sources of data, such as from an internal or external partners you may want to exchange data with, to each polyanonymize their data, get different poly IDs, and still join the data at the individual level. Now, sometimes you may instead want to replace the identifying details with fake values. We do that too with our data masking capability. If you happen to have unstructured data with PII in it and you want the PII redacted from it, the PII Vault has got you covered there as well. All this capability is delivered in a self-contained black box Docker container that resides completely within your organization's firewall. Not sure what that means? That's okay. Your IT people will love it because it gives them complete security and control over your highly valuable data. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and see how it works. To start with, I'm going to walk you through just a quick flow to understand how the PII Vault for plugin does what it does. Now, the Domo Workbench is designed and built so that you can take your on-premises data and load it directly into Domo. So you've got your database, and that database will supply fully identified data into Domo Workbench. It's fine because it hasn't gone anywhere yet. Now, that data will seamlessly be directed into the PII Vault plugin. The PII Vault plugin will anonymize the data, and the output of that will be the same customer data you want to work with, but without any of the PII. Seamlessly, all that anonymous but very valuable data will be uploaded into Domo for your use. Interested to see how all this works in a demonstration? We're more than happy to show you. So here is Domo Workbench. I have a job configured that is pulling data from an internal database, in this case, SQL Server. I've already defined that the PII Vault Transform plugin is there, and let's go ahead and take a look at some of the settings. There's two different types of settings. First, there's three different values that have to be provided that not only tell the plugin where the vault is, but provide the credentials. After that, you've got a list of all the columns that come through in the schema of the data that you're pulling from your own database. This is all just customer transaction data. Some of it is PII, the rest is not. Let's go through and tell the plugin which is which. Now, the transaction ID, as well as the date, the department, and the sales amount, none of that is PII. So we just mark that as non-PII. But when we get to the customer ID, that's a unique value that identifies that particular customer. So it's definitely PII. We're going to mark it as the unique key. After that, we're going to go through to each of the other values. We're going to say what kind of PII it happens to be. As you can see, it's really quick to do. Let's go ahead and set that to be postcode. There's only one step left. Now, sometimes you want to anonymize and redact anything that can be used to identify your people. On the other hand, sometimes you may want to leave some values around to work with. Now, the customer ID, as well as their name, their email address, and their street address, I had that connect wrong, are all really identifying values. So you want to make sure that those values are redacted. But inside Domo, you may want to aggregate on city, state, or zip code. So we're going to leave those the way they are. Once we save that, we'll go ahead and save here. And now the next step is as easy as executing the plugin. Domo Workbench is going to pull the data from your database. It's going to hand that data into the plugin. The plugin is going to anonymize the data, and then suddenly all that data is going to be up in Domo. As you see, really quick, really easy. Want to verify that that data does not include any of the PII? Well, here we go. We have the transaction ID, date, department, purchase amount. The rest of this information has been redacted as we asked it to. City, state, and zip is visible for you to use. And here's a non-identifying polyanonymous ID that you can use to link data either between different data sets within your own organization or even across organization. So that's it. Pretty cool, huh? If you have any questions, want to know about your specific case, go ahead and reach out to us at Anonymatic. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you very much.